All right. Y'all give me a moment. And excuse me if I have sniffles because I'm actually sick. Like, well, I'm not sick, but look, I'm gonna admit it, I'm sick. Something. I got allergies. But I'm just waiting for certain people to join. Although this is like I already know what I'm talking about. This isn't really an interactive. This is more of a, I don't feel like pulling out the camera kind of thing. So let's get into this right now. My thoughts on a happily ever after. My thoughts. And what I mean by happily ever after is basically the idea that you'll fall in love with someone and you'll live happily ever after. My thoughts on that. This topic came up based on a couple of posts that was made about Gucci Mane and Keisha Kayor and how, let me pull up the post because we really about to talk about this. My computer is on like low battery, guys. Can I pause this? Or no? I can't even pause this. Like, I'm not even prepared, bro. Y'all gonna have to hold on because I gotta get my charger. She has to get her charger, honey. I asked to. All right. Back to me. So, charge my shit. All right. So, my thoughts on a happily ever after. I don't feel like, and I don't want to sound like a buzzkill or whatever, a dream killer, but I don't feel like a happily ever after exists. I don't. I don't feel like it ever works like that. I don't even feel like the people who we see and we think are having a happily ever after are having that. Not saying that they're having problems, not saying that it's not working out. I'm just saying that is unrealistic. It's unrealistic. So, I'm going to get into a couple of topics to explain why I feel a happily ever after does not exist. Where I get this term happily, why I'm using this term happily ever after instead of just saying, does the perfect relationship exist? Is because I was saying, like, I was making a snap one day and I was like, you ask dudes for, like, you dream of having a happily ever after with dudes and they give you the trenches. The trenches is my new line or whatever that I've been saying because I feel like that's what it is. It's very much like it's the trenches. It's the bottom, like, that you will get when your mindset is like, that's not what I want. You come into it like, I want the best. I want, you know, what Aurora got. I want all of that. But then you get into it and the prince that they, bring to you in the beginning is not at all the situation. So, with that being said, and that's not what everybody, that's not what all dudes, that's what some dudes. I want to make that clear too. And I'm not shading nobody. Like, if you know, like, you know, I'm not shading you. If that's you, then that's you. I'm really not. It's so weird doing this though, like on live. I like just having my camera. Because then I could just, I don't know. It's just the fact that somebody could come in and I feel like disrupted. So basically, and then the setup is so weird. So where do I start with this? Since I said it's the bare minimum, let's start with the bottom. Let's start from the bottom to the top. I was gonna give y'all a story time about a situation with me. I had already made a live and I canceled it because I'm like, we're not gonna talk about that. That's too personal. So let's talk about the values of a relationship. The bare minimum, in my opinion, my thoughts on it. I feel like from day one, what has to be there, regardless if you knew this person, I know some people say you have to earn respect, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like from day one, everyone gets respect. You start off with it and it subtracts as we go along. It's depending on your actions. I either add more respect to it or you lose respect from me. It all depends on you. That's just how I feel. And that's with any interaction. But we are talking about relationships. But let's make that clear. With me, Snick Talk Tuesday with Snick. Depending on you, you either get more respect and more love from me, or you get less and less until it's completely gone. And if I completely don't respect you, you must have did something wrong because no. So back to the topic at hand. I wish the camera like just came out just like this because like the way I see it is never how it is in the end. So anyway, um, this is why this needed to be edited because I do too much. So much needs to be cut out, but bear with me. Let's talk respect. Respect is the bare minimum. If you begin talking to someone, you begin getting to know somebody, and you already start to notice that they don't have respect for you, I promise you, over time, you might, excuse it at first. You might say, it's not that big of a deal. They did one thing wrong. We're not together. They don't have to, they don't owe me. And it's okay. People don't owe you anything. But one thing that I feel like you must give is respect. You have to have respect. You don't owe anyone, a person who respects you, you must respect them. That's just how I feel. You don't owe them, to like be in love with them and stuff like that. If that's not what you feel, then that's not what you feel. But when it comes to how you treat them, how you talk to them, um, how you handle their time, those are the things that determine whether you respect that person or not. Those are just parts of what determines whether you respect the person or not. It's already been 8 minutes. Oh my God, talk too much. But yeah, so I definitely feel like if you are going to be with someone, you have to respect them. It's a must. Um, it's so hard to like talk about this without like using. I don't want to bash anybody, and I also don't want to like make anybody feel some type of way. But look, I don't care. So how you say all that and then say I don't care. But pretty much what I'm trying to say is pay attention to the little signs in the beginning. Pay attention to that. It's going to come up later. Take it from me. I'm not bringing up anything, but just take it from me. Those little things that bother you, like whether the person considers your feelings, that's part of respect. If you're dealing with someone and they don't consider how you feel, um, you might not be in a relationship with them, or you might be in a relationship with them. Either way, let's say they do things that that's inconsiderate to your feelings, like they fuck around with other people, and they know that that's something that you wouldn't want them to do. Considering someone's feelings is doing something with the person in mind. Your character also matters. So I'm not saying, do things just because, but you must, like, when you're dealing with a person, you're opening up a door and you're saying, you know what, this is a partnership now. This is not just, oh, me, my thing, my life, what I want. This is now what we want. And if you're thinking like that, then when you're both having an argument, for example, you have to be man enough or you have to be woman enough to say, who is more heated in this moment? Or sometimes you might be the one who's a little more heated, but you have to take that 20% that day and give them 80, because you know that in that moment we're both human. And in that moment, one of you guys may not be as rational as the other in an argument. So sometimes you have to be like, you know what? I'm going to take my feelings and I'm going to put them aside at this very moment in consideration for my partner's feelings. I hope that makes sense. Like, I feel like I should have just started off talking about that. But if you get me, then you get me. If you don't, then you don't. So yeah, that's an example of considering someone's feelings. And that falls under the category of respect, the bare minimum, the bottom of the barrel. Like, this is where it's getting built up from. If you don't have that already, you don't have shit. You have nothing. Nothing. That's something that was hard for me to understand. I mean, at first glance, it's easy to understand, but when you're in the situation, it's hard to do. Um, but it's definitely something that's important. And it plays a part in why I don't believe in happily ever after. How is there going to be a happily ever after when we're human? We're not always perfect. We're not always angels. I joke and I play sometimes and I tell everybody, oh, I'm an angel and da da da. But there are times when I take things like out of proportion. Like, I blow things up and it's not even that deep. I look like I'm in a what? You got me fucked up. Ron is talking shit. He's talking shit. I can't. So, Ron, let's talk about it. Now that you joined my live, let's talk about it. This is a Snick Talk Tuesday. What do you think about happily ever afters in relationships? Do you feel like they exist? Briefly tell me why you do or you don't. Also, if you're watching this and you've got this far and you've gotten through my BS in the beginning, please comment and let me know if you believe in that or not. Okay. Um, why don't you believe in a happily ever after though? It like if you have a reason. Because for me, like I said earlier, I feel like how can we have a happily ever after when there's so much that plays into being in a relationship? So Ron says, reason why is because people will do what they want. Everyone is their own person. Someone could seem like they're meant to be, but the truth is they can leave at any time. That's a fact. That's a fact. I feel like you could meet somebody, you could have the best chemistry in the world with them, the best chemistry in the world. Like literally just physically being around them could like give you guys this feeling like you don't understand what it is. You just laugh when you're around each other, not talking about nothing, right? But just because you have that chemistry, you have that connection, or even deeper, you have great conversation, X, Y, and Z. What it all boils down to is whether you're ready to, at times, put yourself aside for another individual. That's just how I feel. I understand, and you guys know I'm into astrology a lot and I bring it up on a daily basis. I bring astrology up all the time, and I'm about to bring it up right now in this conversation because it is important. If you truly understood astrology, then you would understand where I'm coming from when I say this. We're all individuals, right? But there are 12 zodiac signs and they're separated into elements, right? Air, fire, water, and earth. Those elements are the reason that I believe in it so deeply, because I feel like it's literally a fact. The three water signs, for example, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Water signs. Think about that. Water. If you put something into a cup of, let's say you have a cup of water. Water is still, right? If it's untouched. If you put something in vibrating in water, it'll be shooken up. And that's kind of how, figuratively speaking, you can rile up a person with any of those three signs. It's just that easy. They take the form, and I'm talking about emotions when I'm talking about this. They take the form, just like water takes the form of anything that it falls onto. They take the form of that person that they're in love with. And it's almost like they become one with that person. So it's very deep when it comes to water signs. That's just an example. Me, I'm an earth sign. I'm down to earth. I'm practical. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. We're very practical. So the way we handle things is, I have to do what's right for my plants. This is just an example. I know you're about to say I'm weird, but this is just an example. I have to do what's right to keep my plants nice. I have to keep what's right. I have to do what's right to make sure that everything is in order. That's just how earth signs flow. We try to balance things. We try to give life to things, but always thinking practically, always. So we're never up in the air in bullshit. I don't want to get into all of the signs. I'm going to talk about fire also. I'm going to leave air out. I'm going to talk about fire though. Aries, Sag, and Leo. They're fire signs. You can compare it to anybody that you know with those signs. Fire signs want excitement. Fire, like fireworks. I like to think of them. They want to be free to do what it is that they want. And so I use that as an example. I'm not going to use air right now. I'm going to use them as an example. And I'm going to take a fire and an earth element, for example, because I dated a fire sign. Let's say a fire and an earth sign is together. And I know this is not about zodiac because some people hate me when I bring it up, but I don't care. Let's say you take a fire and an earth element together in a relationship. Let's use another example other than mine. Let's say you put a Capricorn and a Sagittarius together, right? There's going to be a big conflict in that. And this is why I don't believe in happily ever afters. You can be with whoever you want to be with, But understand this, that Sag is going to want their freedom, right? That Capricorn is going to want things to be in order all the time. That Capricorn is going to want things to be, like, in order for our relationship to work. Like Capricorns, they have a whole plan for everything. So they're going to be very practical about it, and they're going to be fixed on what they want. But that Sag is going to be like, let it flow. Let me be free. And so in order for that relationship to work, I'm gonna talk about Cap and Scorpio also. I'm gonna talk about that. That's some crazy shit. We gonna talk about that. But in order for a Cap and a Sag to work, this is where your choices come in. Because we each have personalities. Like I said earlier, we're talking about individuals. We each have personalities, right? But where the relationship is gonna either fail or succeed lies within us putting ourselves aside, like I said earlier about the 2080, for that other person. If you know that you're a person who you like your freedom, you always want to be independent, but you know that you love this other person who, they're not the same as you. Let's say they have a different element and they don't like freedom all the time. They want to be up under you. They're emotional. You have to kind of work with that person. That's called considering the other person's feelings. This is something that I had an issue with in my own relationship with someone in the past, because I felt like though they were more of an independent person than I was emotionally, they never considered the fact that maybe I needed more affection. I needed a little more attention. I needed a little more time. And I wasn't unreasonable about the time. It was just, I just need a little more than you probably need. And so love and working toward that fairy tale, which is the goal, is saying, you know what? If my lover needs more space, and I know that I'm in love with somebody who wants to be free to go and do what they want, then if I know that this is the person I want, I'm going to have to set aside a little bit of what I want to make them happy, because they are also an individual and they have their own life path. And if you love someone, you can't be selfish. You can't be selfish in love. You have to allow them to be who they are. You have to allow them to succeed. It's not always about you. So as a more emotional person, you have to give the person who wants more freedom their freedom. As a person who's a little more free, sometimes if you want to go out and be by yourself, you have to say, I would rather be alone. I could live in my own skin, but let me go ahead and give this person more time because I love them and I want them to be around for the long haul. I feel like that's how relationships work. And if a person is not willing to do that, you have to let them go. You have to. Or if you're not willing to do that, let the other person go. The person who keeps doing it for you, let them go. Don't hurt that person by allowing them to make sacrifices for you over and over and over again, and you won't make the same. Don't do that. It's not fair. And that is where my frustration lies, in this idea that fairy tales, everything, things are going to just flow when you find the right one. Or even on the other end, people just ain't shit. Like, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with either. There has to be a medium. But I'm going to talk about the Capricorn and Scorpio connection right now also. I feel like when it comes to a Cap and a Scorpio relationship, of course, if I'm getting deep into it, gender plays a part. But if I'm just talking about the elements and the signs, I'm just going to say Capricorns are very hard workers, right? And Capricorns are earth signs. They're very hard workers. That's like the number one thing that I notice about every Capricorn that I know. Everything that they do to the fullest. They have dreams, big dreams, and they don't want anyone to stand in their way. They have no problem releasing a person who is standing in their way, right? So the Capricorn's biggest struggle probably would be definitely giving the Scorpio the attention and the physical affection that they need. Because Capricorns feel like if I love you and I told you that I love you and I'm here, you should just accept that. Now, Scorpio, on the other hand, is a little tricky to deal with because I dealt with a few Scorpios in my life. They want attention, they want your time, but they also want their space. Sounds simple, but I'm trying to give you guys a picture of what I'm talking about. Best way I could describe it is like Scorpios are, it's so hard to describe, but they are water elements. And like I said earlier, they do take the form of the person that they love. But in each element, there's always a sign that's a little different or kind of falls in the middle of other signs. And for Scorpios, I feel like they aren't as emotionally broken easily as like a Pisces or a Cancer. They're a little bit stronger than them. And that's why people sometimes think Scorpios are fire signs. But damn, like this is a hard question to answer. Like, the simplest way I could put it is like a Scorpio is they're okay with being by themselves. That's the best way I could put it. A Scorpio does not, like, a Scorpio can live their entire life without being in a relationship. They don't give a fuck about that. Excuse my language, but they don't need it to progress. Some people feel like, oh, I need it to, like, it makes me who I am. But any Scorpio that I know can agree with me when I say they do not need a relationship. They could literally live alone, live their life alone, and be okay. The thing is, when they do let someone in their life, they feel like, I loved you enough to give up the space that I share with myself, okay, to allow you into it. Because they're very private. They're very private. They don't like too many people in their business. They're usually the ones who are there for other people. And so when they allow you into their space and they say, you know what, I love you enough to claim you, they feel like by them even just claiming you, that's enough. So sometimes they can be cold-hearted as well. They can come off as cold. So it just really depends. It depends. It's like a situation based thing with that, because a Cap and a Scorp is a real interesting combination to me. Like, I'm a Taurus. I've dated Scorpios. The issue I had with them was never not being around them. The Scorpios are very physical. They would like to be around you all the time. The issue I had was more so secrets. And it's important to me. Honesty is important. So whenever a person is secretive, I can't accept like when a person's personality is just secretive. It bothers me. So yeah, that was my issue. I felt like they never really truly let me in to who they were. I think that's where Scorpios fall short. Being private, being secretive. I feel like that's also where Aries fall short too. It's it's odd. It's odd. It's odd. Like it's so hard to describe because everybody contradicts themselves. So it's like they're loving, but then they kind of like break your heart with the secrets. And they'll be hiding something that's not even like gonna hurt you. They'll be hiding something that's not gonna like affect you at all. But it's like the way that they do it, it just makes you feel like, damn, like you start thinking. So it's a lot. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the cat and the scorp and the Taurus. Because we always have to mention the Taurus, because I am a Taurus. Let's not even talk about Tauruses. This is about to be a whole like zodiac shit right now. Um, anything else? Any other questions that you guys have? Let me know. But I am going to continue talking about my thoughts on the happily ever after situation. This shit is at 30 minutes. Who's watching this over? If you are rewatching this and you've gotten to this point, I love you. That's all I have to say. I do. So, back to the happily ever after. I did mention Gucci Mane and Keisha Kaur. I mentioned them because this whole thing came up when there was a post, I think Snoop Dogg posted, and he said that a lot of people idolize Keisha Kaur and Gucci, but Keisha, she stood by him through the cheating, through the, him not looking the best, etc., etc., him being in jail, etc. And that females want that kind of bond, but they're not willing to wait for a guy to get out of jail, etc. Or, for a guy to stop playing games. That is problematic for me. That's a problematic topic because it's like, how can you sit up here and say, because a woman is not willing to be cheated on, dragged, and I'm not coming at Keisha, but it's like Keisha might have known that he loves her so much to the point where she was like, you know what, this shit doesn't mean nothing. But every situation is different. So some females can't handle that. And for you to say that they're not gonna ever get that kind of love or a marriage or whatever it is that they got, it's crazy. It's crazy. Me personally, I'm not staying with somebody while they cheat on me. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just not. Like, bye. Back to respect. Back to the number one core, the core piece to having a successful relationship. Respect. Cheating is not respecting me. Why is cheating not respecting me? Cheating is not respecting me because emotionally, if you know I'm an emotional person, or even if I'm not, being in a relationship, you have emotions toward that person. So them being with someone else, them being unfaithful is going to hurt you. When you did it, you didn't think about that. Or you did think about that, which is worse, and you still went through with it, which means you don't respect me. It means a couple of things. It either means you don't respect me, or and you just felt like you could do it, and that I was going to stay, or you felt like I'm going to do it, and if she don't stay, I don't care. So you didn't care about the relationship. So you with me and you don't even care. Or you just, you're fucking crazy. Because some dudes really don't feel like they're wrong when they do it. And I feel like you're just crazy. Like, they don't feel like you have a right to be upset. Like, they're psychotic. So those are my thoughts. Like, what? If you cheat, you really think somebody's supposed to stay with you? Okay. You stay with yourself. But that's like the bare minimum of respect. Cheating. Like, bro, you're bugging out. Cheating, that shit is dead. Like, I'm not shitting me. And I hate saying that because my sister says that a lot. By the way, if you are on here live, just like the video and please comment so I know like you're watching it, because bruh, like, it feels weird that y'all watching it and I don't see y'all. Like, I don't know who's watching me. Back to what I was saying. What else is important that doesn't fall under the branch of respect? Because considering someone's feelings, that falls under respect. Being faithful, that falls under respect as well. Also, the last thing about the cheating I want to add, another reason why it's wrong is because, I mean, if you're in a relationship with someone, you guys are sexually active with each other, and the person cheats, it basically says, I don't care about your health. Me personally, I know that the emotional side of it is important. I know. I know the emotional side of it is important. I know that other portions of cheating are important other than the health. But the worst part about it is the health part to me. That's the first thing that's going to go through my head, because I'm going to be like, so you basically cheated. You don't know if it's shorty clean. You don't know like what you, that's the part. Like, I don't think I could never like come near you again. I don't think I could ever do any of that. Cause you're dirt to me now. Because you went and you did that with somebody and it's just nasty, and it's like, even though you might have been with people before me, like, it's just like, during me, no, boo, you gotta go. So that's an issue. But I also want to add, though it's wrong, and I'm not encouraging anybody to cheat, like, it is wrong to cheat, just don't do it in the first place. Just break up with the person. Like, even if you know you love the person and you want to be with them, like, you never know. If you break up with them and you tell them, I'm not ready to be committed right now, you break up, you live your life, maybe you will cross paths again. Why cheat? When you cheat, you cause a resentment. I know everybody says, "Oh, I don't hold grudges. Oh, it's unhealthy. I don't do it." You can say that all you want, but resentment is something that you really can't control. When you feel resentment for somebody, you cannot just say, "Oh, I don't want to feel it anymore. It's gone." It's something that's deep. It's something that pains you. It's something that hurts you to your core, and you cannot control that feeling that you get. So, to avoid someone having that feeling towards you, somebody that you love, somebody that you want, just leave them. If you're not ready to be faithful, leave them alone. Do what you're going to do. And if The time is right. If that person is right for you, you will cross their path again. It'll work itself out. And they won't hate you because they'll look at it like, you know what? You never cheated on me while we were together. And I respect that. Instead of cheating, getting caught, and then breaking up, and it's like, I hate your guts. Why cause somebody that pain? Some people still might feel pain if you break up with them and do it. But it's like, at least you know you didn't cheat in the relationship. You know that you didn't do anything wrong. Period. Like, personally, I would respect that more. So even though like cheating like really upsets me and stuff like that and whatever, I say if you did it, be honest about it. Um, be honest about it. It's so much worse when, or honestly, don't do it at all. Just break up. That's the number one thing. Break up. Just don't even cheat. But if you do cheat, and it ain't no if on me, cause ain't no if on me. Don't do it to me, because you will catch some hell from me. But you know, if you did it, be honest with your partner and tell them it's already done. You have to come clean. Waiting for them to find out. And women are intuitive also. I keep saying this. I keep having this conversation with people. Women are intuitive. And some people, when I just say it, and I'm talking about it, they say, that's crazy. There's no way that you could feel what somebody's doing to you, blah, blah, blah. But I have felt certain things in my life. And I have went and found out and had it confirmed that the exact thing that I felt was what was going on. So say I'm crazy, call me crazy, whatever. But women are intuitive and we feel everything. Like, especially when we love somebody. When a woman is in love with a man, and sometimes men can feel it too, but when a woman is in love with a man, and it's like they have chemistry, they have a connection. When he's doing dirt behind her back, she don't have to have no evidence. He could have been acting, he could have been on his best behavior. If she feels like you cheated, she feels that. Like it's a feeling that'll come to her while you're doing it. So at the end of the day, or like you're being unfaithful emotionally, especially, soul ties is a real thing. Like, people think that this is a game. So at the end of the day, I say, just people who are on bullshit, like out there, I just say to you, or if you're not ready for a relationship, I just say to you, better leave that relationship that you're in instead of cheating. Leave them. Leave them. If you love them, let them go, because it's worse if you cheat. Some females, we're dramatic, we're emotional, so we'll probably still be mad anyway if you break up and then you go be with somebody or you mess with somebody. But at least you know in your heart, and this goes for females and males, because females cheat too. Some females be wilding, but a lot of males do it. So if you know in your heart that's what you want to do, go do it. Break up with the person though first and do what you want. If she's mad or he's mad, at least you know in your heart, I didn't cheat on you. Period. I didn't do no dirt while we were together. At least you know that. In my opinion though, it is kind of wrong to just go deal with somebody else 5 seconds later after you break up with somebody. But listen, y'all do what y'all want. Do what y'all want. Your judgment is the best judgment. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the whole cheating thing. Honesty is also key to the happily ever after. I don't want to even call it that. I don't like that. I don't like that idea of a happily ever after because it's unrealistic. I like the idea of a partnership. A partnership. A lifetime partner. I like that. That sounds better for me. I think people need to start thinking of it like that. Think about it as a lifetime partnership whenever you get in a relationship with somebody. If you're like a teenager, if you're like 14, 13, 15 watching this, you don't got to think about this. But I'm talking about people my age and older, really older. Like, if you get in a relationship with somebody, make sure that's somebody that you could build with. If you can't build with that person, I mean, to each his own, do what you want. But I don't advise that. I don't. I say be with someone you can build with, someone you can, someone who's on the same wavelength as you. You have to share similar values. If being faithful is one of your strongest values, you can't be with someone who comes to you and says, "Oh, I'm in love with you, but you know, I cheated on every girl that I ever been with." Now, don't get me wrong, there are times that a guy has done that and then he gets with that one girl and he doesn't. But if you get one of those that say, "I've been cheating on everybody I ever been with," hopefully he's saying it in a like he learned a lesson from doing that. Like he doesn't want to do it. If he's telling you it and he's bragging, you better run. Run. Because I see so many girls that are stupid. They laugh at the ex, talk shit about the ex, and say, "Oh, she's so dumb. You know, he played her, blah, blah, blah." You laughing at the ex, you're gonna be right in her shoes. Right in her shoes. We're not gonna talk about we're not gonna talk about it, but trust and believe. Trust me when I say you laugh at the ex, you will be in her shoes. Or his shoes. If a female come to you and she's saying, "Oh, I cheated, I did this, I did that." Listen, don't think it won't happen to you. It might not, but the chances are high that it will if they bragging about it like that. I'm looking at Instagram. But yeah, so I'm weak. As I scroll, some girl talking about she's a side bitch and all this other stuff. That's sad. This girl posts her and her mans, right? She posted her and her mans. Some hoe comments and says, "He was just at my house." She comments back and says, "Bitch, I know I was the Uber he says outside." Y'all both stupid, okay? No, 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 no. Accepting to share somebody, something I can't, I just can't, I can't relate. That's interesting. That's a whole nother topic. I'm about to end this live. I'll probably do another one. Two in one day. That's a lot. But y'all, like for real, Mm-mm. It's not good. So those are my thoughts. Um, I'll do like a part two. I kind of went off topic, but whatever. Like I'm just chilling. I'm at home, tired. Soon go to sleep. I'm in my bed, literally. Like my hair looks a mess. Yeah. So those are my thoughts on the respect on a fairy tale. A fairy tale doesn't exist because there's so many things that go into being a person. There's your personal decisions. There's your upbringing. There's your zodiac sign. Or if you guys want to call it characteristics or personality traits, whatever. That's all the zodiac is. That's what it is. Um, and if I'm getting deeper into astrology, you not only have a sun sign, which is the one that depends on your birthday, you have a moon, you have a rising. Your moon is your inner emotions and how you handle things inside internally. Your rising, how you approach the world and how you approach people, how you approach situations. Um, your Venus. It's just so much that goes into it. Um, I'm not gonna get into that though, because that's not what this is. I'm just here to tell you guys how I feel about fairy tales. And I think that yes, we all want fairy tales, but truth be told, I'm not saying we have to accept the trenches. I'm not saying that. We're not gonna accept the trenches. But we're not gonna get a fairy tale though. We're gonna get real life. If you asking for happily ever after or just real life and you get the trenches, run. Run. We don't do that. No trenches here. So, long story short, that's that. I think it's very important. Um, all in all, it's very important for you to be with someone who, like I said, is a partner. A soulmate is not the goal. Technically, we have many soulmates in our lifetime. We have many people in our lifetime who we feel a strong connection to and we think, you know, whatever, because we have, chemistry with them. But that doesn't mean just because the person might have been your soulmate that they're the one for you. You need a partner. You need someone who is going to catch you when you fall. You need somebody who basically, even as a man, too, y'all have to think about this, men. Like, I hope my male friends kind of watch this. I know they're not because they know my lives are usually me talking girl stuff, but I really hope that you guys watch this because I really have something I want to tell you guys. And I tell you this all the time. When you choose a woman, please, I know that it's natural for men to take care of women. I completely understand that. That's the traditional thing that men do. But understand that even though you might be the type of man who wants to take care of a woman, make sure you choose a woman who take care of herself as well. Period. That's the best way I can put it. Choose a woman who takes care of herself as well. Why are you getting with someone who doesn't take care of herself? For what? You can't be with someone who feels like their life is just going to depend on you. and they're going to always look to you for like the next step. What if you need advice as a man? Yes. What if you need advice? Yes, you can be the leader. She could allow you to lead, but you need a woman who's intelligent. You need a woman who's independent. You need a woman who has her own. You might tell her, listen, you don't need to use your own. But as long as she has it, as long as she has those credentials, it should be all right. I mean, come on. Like, y'all got to think about this because I've been seeing y'all. Listen, and I ain't throwing shade at none of y'all, but some of my male friends, like, y'all getting me. Some of y'all, y'all got to watch this video to get this from me because some of you I can't even speak to on the topic because you get so upset about, oh, you're trying to control. I'm not kind of trying to control nothing. I am your friend, but I'm letting you know, listen, don't end up with somebody that you hate, or don't end up with a child with someone that you strongly dislike, that you don't have a friendship with. You make sure that the person that you are with is somebody you have a partnership with. Make sure that the person that you're with is somebody that you have a strong connection to. True, physicality is important, you know, to an extent. You have to be attracted to them. But make sure that the person you choose has their own. They have goals. They have their own life. They have their own personality. They have their own, hobbies. Because if the person is only engulfed in you, for one, you're not going to be able to breathe. And two, you're hurting them by allowing them to even be like that. Because what's going to happen is their only focus is going to be you. But who are they? And that's where the relationship dies because it's like all you care about is where I'm at, what I'm doing, who I'm with. If I love you, if you love me. But do you have a personality anymore? Do you have a life anymore? Are you passionate about anything other than being in this relationship? Never even allow your partner to get like that. I know it's not, our job to control what people do, but it's like even staying with someone who's completely engulfed in you and they don't care about their self is just that's not fair. That's not right. And it's not a good idea. So I know this shoe might fit a couple of people and you might get upset with me, but you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And you know what you need to do. You know. Gotta be with somebody who is whole. You gotta be whole when you get in a relationship. You can't be with someone who's talking about oh, I need you to complete me. I need you to make me happy. That's not our job. Your job is not to make the person happy. The person has to have something in their life that they're passionate about that brings them joy. You are just an addition to their joy. You should not be the only source of happiness that they have. Because think about that. If you're their only source of happiness, when you go away, if you have a trip that you have to go to for work or for whatever reason, are they gonna die because they can't like be around you? Like, you can't have nobody like that. You can't have it like that. And for those people out there watching this who are emotional, you have to definitely make sure you don't allow yourself to, you don't lose yourself in the process of trying to give, and love somebody. You still have to stay 10 toes and you still have to, oh my God, I'm so stuffy. But you have to stand 10 toes, never fold, and focus on the goal. Period. That's all I gotta say. Stand 10 toes, never fold. I don't like my money folded anyway. And focus on the goal. So with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. I hope that you guys understood everything I was trying to get across to you. I hope that you took something from this. I hope that you learned from this, like Tyra Banks said. And I hope that you have a wonderful morning, noon, or night whenever you're watching this video. And please give this video a thumbs up, share it, comment, and tell me what your thoughts are on a fairy tale, as well as I'm going to write it in the comments. Write it. What are your thoughts? That's so hard. On a happily ever after. On a happily ever after. And what values do you feel are important to have in a partnership? I'm not going to put relationship versus partnership. I'm going to do a video on that. So, yes. I love this hoodie so much. It's so warm. But yeah, that's that. And that's all I have to say. And I'm out. Bye. Have a wonderful morning, noon, or night. And what did I say earlier? I said, focus on the goal, never fold. No, I fucked it up. Never stand 10 toes, never fold, and focus on the goal. Period. Always. I need to stop saying period. Somebody got me saying this so bad. But yes, do all of that and wonderful. I'm tired. I have to go. My puff is dying. And I'm tired. Bye. Snick out.